Tell us your name and why you're out here.
I'm Underwood. I'm here because I was here, not at this particular spot, but doing exactly the same thing about 10 years ago when a very similar situation in the Middle East was taking place. A very similar war was being instigated against public opinion at the time. And so I'm just trying to be a part of whatever movement there is to stop it before it's too late.
And what are your thoughts specifically on Syria's situation?
Well, Syria's situation is terrible. The entire Middle East is having a lot of problems based on the fact that there's a ruling class that's in all of these countries that has outlived its usefulness in the eyes of the people, and there's a lot of people who are sick of it and looking for change. But the question is, why is it any of Americans' business? I mean, there are a lot of Americans that are tired of our situation here and are looking for change, but we wouldn't invite Chinese troops to come in and settle our problems here, and so there's very little to be gained from the U.S. doing this in terms of any interests, because if you look back at any of the previous wars that have been waged in the Middle East, the blowback and the unintended consequences always just end up sinking whatever rosy notions there were about some kind of profit that would come out of it in the end. So it's something that's not going to be solved overnight, but it's going to be made worse if the U.S. gets the military involved, and a lot of people are going to be sorry, just like they're sorry about these other wars that we've gotten involved in to no benefit.
Awesome. Okay, do you have any words of encouragement or words for action for the local community here, or anything else to add?
Yeah, absolutely. Just continue keeping aware of current events so that we can, they talk about fighting preemptive wars, but when people are aware that these things are going on, that the president is suggesting going to war without a declaration of war on the other side of the world, if people are aware of that, we can just as well preempt that move to war. And there's been such a large outcry in the last week or two that these notions have been being made about going to war, that I'm absolutely certain that has fed back into the calculations of the politicians as to whether they're going to continue to pursue this course of action. So one person may not feel like he is making a difference himself personally, but continuing to be engaged and to be willing to stand out there and stand up for what's right is something that other people will observe and take note of, and it can change the way that they think about something. So everybody should continue doing what they're doing to stand in the way of what the ruling class is trying to do.
Awesome, thank you. Can you tell us your name and what you're doing out here?
My name's Joanna, and I'm out here just letting people know that I stand in opposition of intervening in a sovereign nation's affairs, even though they might be disturbing, immoral, unknown, whatever to us. It's just not our business, and when our government goes into other countries, it tends to create more chaos than what was already there. And I just don't believe that one American soldier's life is worth another country's problems.
What kind of action, if any, do you advocate then?
Oh, well, I guess I would say I would advocate for not bombing innocent people, and it'd be nice if we could all just pray for them.
Tell us your name and what you're doing out here today.
My name is Heather, and I'm just out here kind of protesting. I am a mother of 7, 6 of which are boys. I don't think our country meddling in others' affairs is, to bring democracy to another country by way of bombs is not very democratic. And I just feel like we have to stand up at one point in our lives and say enough's enough. We've let them, they've gone through Iraq, they've torn it to pieces. Dictator after dictator, we keep replacing them under the guise of bettering the people. It's never better for the people. It always ends up worse than when we got there. That's it.
Do you condone military intervention even if President Obama is able to get congressional approval?
No. The Congress, I mean, most would say that must be, no, I can't see any reason to go into a sovereign nation, like she said, and meddle in their affairs, regardless of if Congress thinks it's right. I think at that point, we should be replacing Congress.
Anything else to add to that?
That's it. Like I said, I have 6 boys. They need to stay here.
Can you tell us your name?
Yana.
And what are those signs?
What are those signs?
Yeah, what signs did you make there?
What signs?
Uh-huh.
The thing where we don't like our war.
You don't like our war?
Mm-mm.
What are you doing out here today?
So let's see. So we could say no to war.
So we can say no to war? Yeah. How do you feel about war?
Bad.
Bad. What does your sign say?
Syria, not our war.
Awesome.
We don't want our war.
Yes. You have anything else to say?
And that's all.
That's all? Okay, awesome.